morning. It's Monday morning. Got maybe 3 to 4 inches of wet snow last night, and has to get cleaned up. First year I do this parking lot, so I'm just trying different things. I've plowed this thing out maybe three times this year so far. Some guys that are working here, not open to the public yet, but there are some guys that are working here, so I want to try to clean this area up so they could come up in here and park in the front, and that way I could continue to clean up the back part of this thing, and they're not in the way. Not much snow, like I said, 3 to 4 inches, and then I think at one point it turned to, and I'm calling it 3 to 4 inches on. That's how much I think we got, and then the little bit of rain that came afterward kind of pounded it down a little bit, so it doesn't look like we got 3 to 4. It looks like we got 2, but it's a little slushy and matted down. Got some stuff on the ground here. Just got to make sure I don't run it over. I'm not getting super close to it. Back this stuff up. Do the same thing over there on the other side of that dumpster. Island behind me, that's why I stopped that short. And then right here to the left, I would push this right to the left of me here, but there's some debris in the grass. I cannot push the snow onto the grass there. Sucks. And once they finish this place up, that will be opened up for putting snow. As I said, today's Monday morning. It's 6:20 in the morning. not too long ago, my truck was in the shop. I didn't have any means to use the plow. The Chevy was in the shop. I ended up having to snow blow this parking lot. It wasn't horrible. Obviously not the best way to take care of a parking lot. But I did do it. You got it done. I was here for a hot minute, but like I'm saying, we got it done. This past week, we've had temperatures going up a little bit. They were in the upper 30s. I don't think we got into the 40s or anything, but it was upper 30s. Stuff started melting. We had rain for 2 or 3 days, and a lot of the snow in the grass area melted away. Some of the piles shrank a little bit. Then after today, we're gonna be back into the upper 30s again, and during the day, at night, it's going into the 20s. That's what kills it. But we're out here getting it done. If I could plow if I had a headache. And being that this is the first year that I'm actually plowing, even though I've had the plow for 2 seasons now, I think, or one full season last year, and then this year really wasn't plowing. It was, back dragging driveways a little bit, and just feels like if there's a lot of, you do a lot of looking around, trying to pay attention to everything around you. Seems like if you had a headache, a massive headache or something, it would suck big time. The temperatures. That's what sucks about the temperature being up for so long. The ground really doesn't get a chance to freeze. And when you run over there in that little corner, I ran up in that corner there, I feel it, that ground's wet, soft and wet, and marks up in that area there. Rut it up, but it looks like that's what I'm doing. That's gonna end up being something extra that we have to do in the spring. I mean, clean up some of our doings, I guess. I don't want to create any more work than what we have to do. Definitely try not to do that. It's freaking mud. Oh, that sucks. We got a job to do, right? Let's get that done. The Fisher 8-foot straight blade. Stainless. It's a nice plow. Pretty happy with it. I know nothing of plows, so I guess anything would satisfy me. I guess the real thing would be when and if and when I upgrade plows maybe, and see how I feel about the new plow, you know what I mean? So definitely feel as if this plow does a good job for the little bit that I have done plowing. Little plowing that I've been doing, gets down to the surface really good. And I don't know what else to, like, I don't have anything to gauge it to, you know, so just being honest here. Put it over here and then try to smush it in there. Like I said, you're seeing me learn on this parking lot here. First time I'm doing a parking lot. And like I said, this is probably the third or fourth time of plowing this season. And the one time I ended up having to do it by hand, like I said, because the truck was in the shop. It wouldn't go into four-wheel drive. Well, and actually I had to get it towed. I started messing around with the ground wires underneath the driver door area there. A set of those three ground wires there that are right there onto the chassis. Started messing around with those wires, and all of a sudden my truck won't start, and I couldn't get it to work after messing around with it. So I ended up taking it to the shop. I had it towed, taken to the shop, and $100 later, I'm up and running again. And they told me that they replaced some wires, or secured a ground. They secured a ground, and the gentleman told me that it wasn't what I was working on there. It was further up the line. I'm taking his word for it. Nothing else to do, right? That's what they said it was. That's what it is. So, like I said, a couple $100 later, and then that's not counting the tow, because I had roadside assistance take me to his shop. I'm gonna mention any names. I mean, seems like an honest fella, but then I mean, my truck's still not right, and I should have started the story with why I was messing with those ground wires. Like the reason behind me messing with those ground wires initially was for the fact that my truck didn't want to come out of four-wheel drive. Of course, when I say we, I mean I started looking around on the internet, Googled stuff, and YouTube mechanics are saying that when that happens, it's usually a bad ground, and that ground is located, like these are one of the grounds. So the grounds that I was messing with was one of the grounds that the guys were mentioning. So I started, I literally touched it. I went underneath the truck and touched it as to feel around and verify physically that those wires are indeed, like, you could visually see that they were touching, making contact there. But I wanted to touch them and make sure that they're not going to fall off. You know what I mean? You touch them and they fall off because they're so brittle and rusty. And they did not fall off. It was on there, felt secure, and everything felt good. So I proceed to scratch my head and say, well, I don't know then. I mean, it looks good. I don't know what it could be. Jump back in the truck. I go to start it to leave, to go back to the house, and the truck won't start. So at that point is when I'm like, now what? And since the last thing I did was touch those wires, I went down there and I'm touching the wires some more. I'm making sure that I didn't miss anything, and it's like, no, man, I really didn't do anything. I just touched it, legit just touched it. And for the life of me, I couldn't get it to come back on, well, to start. I ended up calling my son to come pick me up. I'm like, dude, can you come get me? He was doing something. He's like, yeah, I'll come through. And as I'm sitting there waiting, I started looking through more YouTube videos, and I'm like, I don't know, could I have messed up my, like, blew a fuse or something by shaking stuff around? I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not an electrician. And start thinking fuses, relays. Maybe I blew something. I don't know. I was looking around on YouTube some more, and there's a gentleman on there with the same truck. His story is that he was going to change his fuel pump because of the same conditions that I was having. Crank, no start. It definitely felt like it didn't have any fuel. So in his video, he's explaining how he went through, he changed his fuel pump because he figured his fuel pump was out. And it's an older gentleman. He knows what he's doing. He's like, yeah, I've seen this before. Pump's bad. Well, he puts the pump on only to realize that the truck's still not starting. So then that's when he started digging a little deeper. And I don't know how long it took him or not, but he figured out that it was that ground wire in my same situation there. He was saying that one of the ground wires that grounds out to that chassis there is one of the wires that goes to the fuel pump. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. Hey, there's a bad connection somewhere, you know. But like I said, at the end of the day, I couldn't figure it out, and we were supposed to get some snow that following week. And that's when, like I said, I got the tow truck involved. I had the truck towed. I explained to the mechanic what I did, why I was doing it, and the whole 9 yards, thinking, hey, you know, it's a matter of just cleaning and reconnecting those 3 wires on that chassis right before, or right underneath the driver door, right behind the front driver wheel at the chassis right there. He says he reconnected that because those wires, as I was trying to reconnect it and all that there, I stripped it out. And I told them, I said, you know, I put my hands in there, and I was definitely in there trying stuff, and I couldn't get it. So I'm calling you, see if you can get it. Reconnect that for me and just make it work. And he said he reconnected that, and still nothing, and that he had to look further. Like I said, we have to take his word for it. Shit. I wonder how hard you gotta hit that shit to have the airbags deploy. But like I said, that's why we have the mechanics that we have, and we have to trust them. If we don't trust them, maybe we need to get another mechanic, right? So I'm trusting, and I'm hoping that this is my guy. I mean, I want this guy to be my guy. Everybody speaks very good of him. He's highly recommended by everyone. So I need a responsible mechanic, especially doing this type of work where we rely on these vehicles so much. Definitely need my stuff to work, and in a timely fashion. And like I said, that guy's usually busy, like really busy all the time, and I just came out of nowhere and dropped my truck off over there. And I'm not expecting him to drop everything and take care of me. I know he's busy and all that, but I also didn't expect him to take care of me as soon as he did. Even though it took a little bit of time, it was quicker than what I thought I was gonna, you know what I mean? It was just, it felt like he hooked me up. This could have been done definitely a lot faster by someone who's experienced and not pussyfooting around like I'm doing. But like I said, I'm learning. I want to try to see if I retain what I did today versus what I did last time. See what was better, what felt better. All of that. Still got to do the sidewalk over there, but this was my worry, because I didn't want to be in here plowing while the guys start coming in. There's only like four or five trucks that come in, but they park, I don't know why, but they don't park next to each other. It's like sporadic. You got one here, one across the place, and do not know why they do that. But it's a free country, right? At least that's what they say. But that's another YouTube video, or another channel, I guess. But push this little bit out the way. I'll shovel around the porta potty there, make sure nobody falls in. I'll head out to shovel the front and salt. The parking lot's gonna get a little bit of salt as well. So there you have it. It took me half an hour to do this, obviously way too long, but everything's tidied up. A little island here. So I'm gonna tidy up that little area right there just to have that clear. And there's a drain back there behind the porta potty. Anyway, we'll be back.